Hi, I'm Kyle Schmid. I'm co-owner of Gift Express along with Adita Kohatsu. We're located in Castro Village. Been here for about almost 6 years. But sadly, we are going out of business. Call it Amazon or whatever caught up with us, but retail just hasn't been working for us. So we're sad the run's coming to an end, but we're closing our doors here. So come see us. We're at 3330 Village Drive, next to Eden Bicycle and near the Seas Candy. Hallmark. So we'll be here till January 31st. We're here 7 days a week, 10:30 a.m. to 7 p.m., except Sunday we close at 6 p.m. Everything's going. We've got about 40 vendors here with a variety of wonderful items, lots of handmade, antique, various little booths, and we're selling everything to the walls. So there's some good deals on fixtures and shelving and anything else you might need. So again, sorry to say goodbye. It's been a good run in Castro Valley here, but please come help us close things down at the end of the month.
Good morning, Castro Valley. Chef Igor here. We're over at Rudy's Donuts this morning. I woke up nice, bright and early to get us some fresh donuts to sample for a great review today. And Rudy's Donuts is legendary. In fact, they came into the Castro Valley scene in the 1960s. There is an actual Rudy, and it's just been historical ever since. But even originated from donut companies prior to that. I think what's great about our review today is the power of memory through food, as food is a medium of memory. Because I remember growing up as a kid in Castro Valley after we immigrated to America, after I grew up in San Francisco, and looking forward to the mornings where I would get a donut when I was 9 years old or something with my mother, or sometimes even have my 5th grade teacher, Miss Block, I know I had to give you a shout out there, bring in boxes of donuts for our classes. So great memory component, but lots of donuts to sample as well. So we got 5 things to try. I honestly could have got like one on every menu, but then I'd leave looking like a donut today. And we will actually talk about the history of donuts, the name, the shape, the color of the boxes, in just a little bit. But I got us 5 things to start off with. The classic glazed yeasted donut. I think this is quintessential to try. We also branched that a little bit with the raspberry filled donut. We got ourselves a really nice cherry cake donut, completely different style. And then being a little bit more out of the box, we got ourselves a bear claw and an apple fritter we'll try in a moment. And why don't we start off with the classic yeasted glazed donut, biting right in. Oh, this is just perfect. Yeasted donuts, they use yeast actually in the dough to give you that rise and that fluffiness. And I love that I could really taste the yeasty quality there. In fact, you could see how many of the air bubbles are there, and it's so nice and freshly baked, it's not stale at all. You can see that pull of the air, almost like pizza dough-esque, don't get me wrong there, but a lot more tender. What I also love about Rudy's glazed donuts is that they're not overly sweet. Often donuts, I don't want to name names, but then some bigger brands of donuts, like all you taste is sweetness, but here you actually get the body of the donut, gentle sweetness, and not super oily. That's what's really important. Donuts can absorb up to 25% of their weight in oil, and this actually does not seem oily at all to me. We're going to move on to the raspberry filled donut next, that classic shape, hole, none of that donut hole action in the middle. And you don't only get just 1 fill hole, not 2, but 3 fill holes. They really pack as much filling as they honestly can into these donuts. And they do chocolate filled, they do custard filled, raspberry filled, and if there's something like a bar sitting that you see not filled, they'll actually fill it for you, so that's really great. But let's take a look at what's going on inside this guy. Beautiful amount of filling. Just what I like to see, that nice classic yeasted dough, just like we did the previous donut. And let's bite in. Again, not too sweet, which I really like. And the raspberry filling itself, it's a seedless raspberry filling, and also not too sweet. You actually get a little tart bite of the raspberry, which I think is really nice and important. Makes me feel like I'm jumping into springtime here. But again, it's a texture of the donut that I really like to capitalize on here. Get just the right amount of chew, just the right amount of tenderness, and not overly sweet there, and not oily as well. So I'm starting to get nice and sticky. My body's really nice and happy with me. Talk about New Year's resolutions, right? And let's move on to the cherry cake donut. I actually really like that this is cherry rather than strawberry, sort of a different flavor that you don't get very often in donut shops. And you do see inside the glaze little bits of strawberry, which I really like as well. I'm sorry, cherry. Little bits of cherry. That's why I went and got this one. So let's take a look at what's going on with our cherry cake donut. Really nice and tender, just from the looks of it. Now, I'll tell you, there's little notes of like spice going on in there, whether it be nutmeg or cinnamon. Not too abrasive, but actually a really good complement to the light cherry flavor you get in the glaze. What makes cake donuts a little bit different than yeasted donuts is you actually get the rise from baking powder or baking soda. So imagine you're baking a cake or you're baking a muffin or a cupcake. You're using more so of that style of a dough, maybe a little oil or butter inside, rather than a yeasted dough, which you get that rise and bubbliness from yeast. So these are definitely a much better pairing, in my opinion, to coffee or tea because they'll soak up those delicious juices. This is actually, again, not too oily, not too sweet. I really like the little notes of nutmeg or cinnamon or orange zest, something going on in there, cardamom, I'm not sure, but some kind of essence in that cake donut. So a really great compliment to your morning cup of joe. Alright, so next we're going for their apple fritter. Classic big guy here. In fact, if I had to say Rudy's was famous for two things, it would be their yeasted glazed and their apple fritter. So let's go right into this guy, see what's going on, and I'll tell you more about it in a moment. Wow, I could really see the cinnamon marble through bits of apples. Let's bite right in. It's like biting into a mix of apple pie and my favorite cereal, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, at the same time. The cinnamon is beautiful in there, really vibrant. The apple's really nice texture rather than like just a canned mushy apple. You actually get the nice crunchy texture, and the flavor is just really balanced throughout. How apple fritters are generally made is you take the leftover dough from the yeasted process, sometimes even the cake process, or even just bits of dough, mix that with pieces of apple and cinnamon and whatnot, and sort of create little clumps that you then fry. Well, this one doesn't seem like it's actually done that way. It seems like its dough is made specific for the apple fritter. That's how you get those that lovely marble of cinnamon in there. And I just, again, love the texture of the apples. You actually get a nice crunch from them. So if you need a little bit of vitamin C with your morning, you want to feel healthy, why not go with an apple fritter, right? Alright, so the last guy here to try our bear claw, and then we'll jump into some of the donut history and whatnot, so bear with me with that. I had to get that out there. So let's tear into this guy. He seems like he is a yeasted donut as well, with that center. But again, you get a little bit of cinnamon that I see starking right through, the lovely almonds and the visual appeal of the bear claw. Let's see if there's anything else going on here.
$4.94, please. Thank you.
So if you're going for bear claw, you got to be a lover of texture, because you get the crunchy texture of the almonds on top, not as much cinnamon as the apple fritter, but just enough to shine through, and the glaze actually gives you a nice sweetness to it. Sometimes with bear claws, they're either made with a yeasted dough like they are here, sometimes made with like a croissant dough, a ganachery dough, with a little bit of almond sometimes filling inside, or maple. But this one's just nice, classic, simple cinnamon, almond, that yeasted dough, and the lovely look to it. So kids actually love bear claws because you can tell them stories and whatnot that are bear related. But again, the texture is really nice here. The almonds with that glaze and that cinnamon bites right through. Alright, so we got a lot to talk about. I had to taste the bear claw last so I could do that stupid bear with me joke. I really had to put that out there. But how did donuts get into our modern culture? Well, donuts actually date all the way back to prehistoric times, Mesopotamian times, Egyptian times. Anytime you have a piece of dough and you can fry it in animal fat, that's essentially a donut there. However, we can see donuts coming to America in the late 1700s, early 1800s, when Dutch settlers would actually bring something called olie cakes, or we can sort of translate that to oily cakes, from their home countries over to northern colonial times, so about New York-ish area, where you'd have sweet pieces of dough fried at that point, and then ultimately that evolved into donut. Now, why do we call them donuts? Now, there's so many bits of history. I'm just going to give you three of them. one of them was when you take a piece of dough and you fry it, the exterior sort of has a little crackly texture. Imagine like a nut, imagine like a whole walnut still inside its shell, or a whole hazelnut. So sometimes people would just say, get me a donut, because looks like a nut made of dough. And then the other history branches with the shape, because why do we have that whole inside donuts? Simple answer is because cooking times. There would be many complaints when you have this big lump of dough that's fried and the inside is always raw. So one sailor actually decided to take the salt and pepper tin and actually punch a hole from the inside of the dough and then fry that, which made the cooking time even faster, made them less oily because you're cooking them less time, and gave you complete cooking throughout. Now at that point we got donut holes as well that evolved, but the final name is because prior to that happening, if you wanted the inside not to be raw, you would actually put things on the inside like nuts, like walnuts or hazelnuts inside your dough, then fry it, and that's again another name for it, donut, because you have the nuts inside of your dough there. So multiple names, lots of history. I could go on for this for days. I would just do more research there. The final thing I want to talk about is why the pink box with donuts, because we often see that classic pink box when you get yourself a dozen of donuts. Now this actually dates back to Southern California, big donut community there, and Cambodian refugees. As they were opening a donut shop, they wanted to have donut boxes in a lucky red color, as red is a lucky color in many different cultures. However, because cost-wise, pink was a little more cost-effective to go with, they ended up capitalizing on pink boxes, and because of the vicinity to Hollywood in Southern California, pink boxes were seen in moving pictures and on film and on TV, and now you'll see pink boxes all over America. So funny how that came into existence. But long story short, the holes of donuts are there, so quicker cooking time, lots of names for donuts, and pink boxes are supposed to symbolize still lucky red colors. Alright, Castro Valley, we're finished here at Rudy's Donuts. I did my best not to eat too much so I don't gain too many pounds this new year. Wonderful place, rooted in the community, been here since the 1960s, but still has history prior to that. I have great memories, fond memories here. It really shows Rudy's Donuts is a great example of how powerful memory is with food, and we sampled a great variety of things, from our classic yeasted glazed donut to our raspberry filled donut to our cherry cake donut, our apple fritters, and our bear claw. I also gave you a little bit of history of donuts, the name, the shape, the pink boxes, and donuts are just something that's familiar all around the world. Whether you get jalebi in Indian cuisine, whether you get sesame balls in Chinese cuisine, whether you get dessert pierogi in Ukrainian and Russian cuisine, or beignets in New Orleans, everything's got some type of a relation to donut there, dating back to prehistoric times. So if you want yourself a nice sweet bite rooted in the Castro Valley community, or even get yourself a nice assortment for your next work party, Rudy's Donuts is the place to go right on Castro Valley Boulevard.
Hi, I'm Kyle Schmid. I'm co-owner of Gift Express along with Adita Kohatsu. We're located in Castro Village, been here for about almost 6 years, but sadly we are going out of business. Call it Amazon or whatever caught up with us, but retail just hasn't been working for us, so we're sad the run's coming to an end, but we're closing our doors here. So come see us. We're at 3330 Village Drive, next to Eden Bicycle and near the Seas Candy Hallmark. So we'll be here till January 31st. We're here 7 days a week, 10:30 a.m. to 7 p.m., except Sunday we close at 6 p.m. Everything's going. We've got about 40 vendors here with a variety of wonderful items, lots of handmade, antique, various little booths, and we're selling everything to the walls. So there's some good deals on fixtures and shelving and anything else you might need. So again, sorry to say goodbye. It's been a good run in Castro Valley here, but please come help us close things down at the end of the month.